G'day guys, how are we going? Well, here we are back again. Have another yarn to you guys. Thanks very much for guys that are dropping there tonight already. So tonight's topic, we're going to have a bit of a chat about lead acid batteries versus the lithium ion batteries, as a replacement for your full drive. It's a pretty hot sort of a topic that's turning up around social media, and people certainly weighing it up and wondering which way, you should go and that sort of stuff. Now, it's certainly something that I've been thinking about. I'd be pretty keen to get any feedback from you guys as we go forward. To maybe you are considering maybe looking at lithium batteries as a replacement, or have you already done it? And be pretty keen to see what you think if you have replaced your lead acid batteries with your lithium batteries. So one of the main reasons why I'm sort of looking at them is due to what I've done with the back of patrol just of late, with reducing a lot of weight, because that's certainly one massive benefit with the lithium batteries over the lead acid batteries, is purely the weight factor. I've looked into them, and the same cranking batteries that I've got out there now, and the 100 amp hour batteries that I've got in my car now, I reckon they would be the best part of probably about 20, 25 kilo each, I reckon. At least 25 each, I reckon those car batteries would be. And the lithium batteries are around sort of 10 to 12. Amazing weight difference, but it's just that longevity and that sort of thing, and wondering, just how they're going to go sort of down the track. You see some great reviews on them, but keen to hear from some of you guys. If you've already used them? Go Land Cruiser Toyota, thanks so much for coming in there tonight. And Darian, Jack, how are you, mate? Terry and Tyrell, how are you going there? Mick, good on you, mate. Thanks for coming in. And Ash and Leanne, happy Sunday. It is Sunday. It's weekend's just about over. G'day, Greg. How are you going, guys? So that's sort of one of the main reasons why I've been looking at the lithium battery alternative over replacing lead acid ones, is mainly around that the weight saving. They do say if you look after a lithium battery, they reckon you can get sort of 8 to 10 years out of them. But I don't know. That's just what they're sort of saying. But so they it certainly lasts long, but one of the big sort of downers, I suppose, with the lithium over your lead acid, and that's purely the cost of them. They do cost quite a few bucks. They're about double or a bit over double the price of a lead acid battery. So you're looking sort of around $800-900 and beyond, for a decent lithium battery to chuck under your bonnet of your full drive. So there's a fair bit of cost involved. But any of you guys sort of using warranty is a concern, you reckon, Greg? Yeah, not sure what sort of warranties they're certainly giving out on these batteries. So I'd be pretty interested to know if you've experienced any of this, or of some of the warranty problems with those batteries. Be pretty keen to sort of hear from them. Okay, Darren, how are you, mate? Darren, there is a young guy on YouTube that has cut them up, opened them, checked them out for quality. This guy really knows his stuff, and highly rates the brand. There you go. There's some options there. And that's the other thing. There's so many brands. You say lithium, and it's just endless on the different brands on that sort of thing. So whether one brand's better over the other, but there's a couple of good options there. That someone's sort of rating there with some brands of the lithium ones. Rudders, how you going there, mate? What's the ballpark figure for a simple second battery setup, just for running a fridge and some small camp lights? I'm not sure what the dual battery setups are worth now, mate. I've had mine in my patrol pretty much from day one, so it's over 10-year-old. I just replaced mine's got just a smart solenoid. It's a pretty simple sort of a setup. I should actually do a bit of a video on my little setup under the bonnet there, but it's a pretty simple setup. I just got one of those smart solenoids that I got from ARB there, and it works well and controls my battery, but I don't run a great deal off my second battery. Like, the only thing that runs off it pretty much full time is the fridge. Only when I'm away. The fridge is drawing on it all the time, and then the only other things that sort of draw off it during the day and that sort of thing is if I'm charging camera batteries and that kind of thing. So there's not a great deal runs off my second battery. I've got the 800 watt inverter there, which seems to be plenty for what I'm running off it at the moment for what I charge out of it. So keen to see what you guys are sort of running from. Jack, don't they last longer? And yeah, well, that's what they reckon. They reckon you can get sort of 8 to 10 years out of them if you look after them. So, sort of offsets the cost of them because they are pretty expensive, sort of $800-900 and beyond. Whereas, your normal lead acid battery, you can spend 150 to sort of $250 and $300 for a decent lead acid. So, there's pros and cons there. You just got to weigh it all up. But if you can get, 8 to 10 years out of one, it probably justifies it a little bit. Land Cruiser, I got a quote on a Evan drive with it, which is lightweight and off a full duty cycle until they completely go on. Yeah, close at 200 amp hours. That's pretty good. Got quoted $2,500. Far out. Well, there you go. That's a big ticket price there. $2,500. Yeah, you'd want to get some serious longevity out of it to go and warrant spending that sort of money on one, I suppose. Yeah, it's big bucks, that's for sure. Volta X at 100 amp hour, $389. There you go, on eBay. So there's some options there. CRJ Shearing, how you going there, mate? I'm going all right. My 12 volt system is going good. I run a CF18 Waco. Yeah, and I love it. Yeah, look, I've only got the 45 litre angle on mine, and it runs my second battery, no worries, as long as I'm, depends if I'm parked up for a few days. Well, then, I'll generally always take a solar panel, especially this time of year. Now rolling into summer, always keep that drip feed going on that second battery during summertime, just to keep the fridge and beers cold. It's always a good thing. Ben, g'day mate, how you going there? Dash on girl, how you going there? Thanks very much for them coming tonight. Chuck, how you going there, mate? Macca, $500 covered my simple dual battery setup, including the battery. There you go. But did it yourself. Yes, you've saved a few bucks there on the later side of it by being able to hook it up yourself, and that's a good thing if you can. Because if you get any wiring problems, well, you know where to go and fix it. So, yeah, that's still not bad there. For dual battery setup with a battery and everything for $500. Darian, people need to match the watt draw with the inverter to use, and you'll kill them there. Yeah, right on. So, well, that's the other thing. You really do need to have a good look about what you are, using it for your second battery, how much you are drawing out of it. If you're pulling coffee machines and that sort of stuff, well, you need mass inverters and bigger batteries to handle that sort of stuff. But as I've said many times, my setup pretty simple, and that's why I sort of keep it, and it works well. So, Terry and Tolong, 100% depends on your setup. Looking at the iTech, 120 amp hour lithium with a 40 amp hour DC charge. Yeah, look, I haven't looked into those DC chargers. Everyone's sort of bangs on about how good they are too, but I'm not overly sort of electrical either. So, I've got to get a bit of an understanding how all that sort of stuff works. But yeah, quite a few people sort of do talk about those DC chargers. So obviously a good thing going on there. The Wanderer, how are you, mate? Kind of all depends on how much you need to draw from the second battery and how many gold coins you have in your pocket. Yeah, look, yeah, spot on. That's what we sort of were saying there. You just really got to weigh up and go through what accessories you're going to be using for that second battery, as to what size you need there and what sort of quality and that sort of thing, and that second battery and how much it's actually going to use. Because my camera batteries and that sort of stuff, they draw bugger all. And then I got the little LED lights in the back now, right at the back, where they've gone in and they run off that second battery too. But LED, they draw bugger all. So yeah, mine's not really drawing much at all, which is probably a good thing, so in case those times we are parked up for a while. Greg, Amtron 100 amp hour, $900. Yeah, I run a second. Prismatic, what's that? Cell, the only way to go. There you go. It's good enough for Andrews, St. Perry's White. Good enough for most people. There you go. Well, there's a good recommendation there. Yeah, about $900. That's sort of the figures that I've been sort of quoted to, around that $900 range for a decent lithium battery. So that's sort of where I'm going to be sort of maybe looking at down the track. I probably won't worry about it too much over summertime, because my batteries now, they're probably getting on close to a couple of year old, and that's when you got to really start having a look at your lead acid batteries, is certainly the age of them. But over summertime, it's generally not so much of an issue. But It's when you come into winter. That's the big time when I start looking at my batteries and maybe looking at replacing them, because the cold weather hits them pretty hard, and especially if you're not driving around very often, that's the time when you really need to start looking at your batteries for maybe replacements then. Darren, most good lipos will have a good BMS. We'll cut the battery life temperature. It's cold, they'll shut off at 5 to 10% left. Yeah, because I reckon you can run those lithium batteries almost down to flat and they still charge up again, no worries. But yet to see that happen. But that's what they reckon, you can sort of run them down pretty low and then they kick back up again when charging up. Right, if it works, why change it? Well, like I said, one of the main reasons I am looking to potentially change down the track is purely because of that weight factor. I could, with 2 batteries, I could pull another probably 30, 40 kilos out of my front end by replacing those 2 batteries that I've got and putting 2 lithium ones in there. Now, 30, 40 kilos, it's a fair whack. So that's one of the main reasons, probably number one top of the list, why I am considering it down the track, is for that weight saving. It's a pretty big savings, which is a pretty good thing to have. 40, 50 kilos off that front end, it's a fair whack. So yeah, Land Cruiser. Does anyone know the orange top and black top AGM batteries seem very popular? Yeah, I don't know much about those. You do hear about the orange tops being spoken to about a fair bit, so they must be a pretty sought after item too. Greg, DC chargers are not good for your main battery. Yeah, you pretty much only run them off your second battery, from what I sort of understand with how they sort of work too. So yeah, I run them off your second battery. Darren, 100 amp hour lipo is the same as a 200 AGM for the real capacity. There you go. That's not a bad little couple of stats there. Okay, Darren, how are you, mate? Adam, Odyssey Battery World. Yeah, there's a recommendation there. Jared, my lead one has gone after 3 months. There you go. Barely drive it while trying to get a 4B reject again. Well, that's one thing that certainly the batteries don't like, particularly if you're not keeping it like a trickle charge or a solar panel up to them, is if they're only sitting around and not being driven. And if they're in your car, well, they're probably well, if it's only your second battery, depends if you've got anything running off it too while it's sitting around. But they don't like sitting around for long periods of time without being driven or keeping a trickle charge up to them. So you might want to think about that. Put some sort of a trickle charge on your battery to keep it going. Would probably be a good thing. Glenn, I think people accumulate a huge amount of gear, then realise they don't actually go camping. Yeah, just moved house. Minimise is the way to go. Well, yeah, that's exactly what I've certainly done with my whole thing, mate. I've minimised everything and got my camp gear all really fine-tuned down pat, and only take what I absolutely need, and everything I do take, I'll certainly use it. So it does work out well, that's for sure. Rudders, start eating pies then. Save some weight. Yeah, you're not wrong there, mate. I tell you what, I've been knocking a few down, and there'll be a few going down next week too. So, and plus the video that's coming up on Monday night, there might be a couple in that too that have gone down. So, yeah, can't go without my pies. Got to take them away. Leanne, would you reinstall the second battery lithium in the cabin, or I'd keep it under the bonnet? Yeah, look, I'd probably just keep it under the bonnet. It'll drop in those same housings. You do hear of people, they set up that second battery right down the back of their vehicle, which is not a bad thing apparently, because the shorter your leads are running off your battery, it works a lot better for whatever you're running off it. So that's why sometimes people run a second battery in the back of their vehicle, just to shorten up those leads for the accessories that have got running off it. So, but yeah, I'd probably just put it back under the bonnet again, and leave it there back in those same mounts, one either side of the engine bay there. G'day, Ken. How you going there, mate? Just joining, hope as well. Yeah, going pretty good, mate. Thanks very much. Hopefully everything's going all right for you there too, mate. Terry and Tynel, okay. So are you looking at full lithium under the bonnet, including the crank battery? Yeah, probably I'll be looking at change over both, I reckon. If so, then I hear the DCS, the lithium, do a decent setup for that, righto? Yeah, I'd be, if I was going to do it, I'd look at changing both sides, just again, for that weight factor. I know there's some big bucks involved in buying them, but if you, as I say, if you can get that 8 to 10 years out of them, it sort of nearly works out a bit about the same, because I sort of replace my lead acid ones every couple of years, pretty much regardless, especially coming into winter. So it sort of works out about the same. So yeah, I'd look at changing both of them out for sure. The Wanderer, you might have already answered your own question, mate. 40 to 50 kilos off the front end of your rig will make a massive difference. Yeah, that's the number one reason why I am looking at them, is mainly for that weight factor, because you'd easily take the best part of 40 kgs out of you from under the bonnet there by swapping those two batteries over lithium, and it'd be a fairly noticeable difference, I reckon, off your front end. Just make it a bit easier for all that steering components and that sort of stuff. Land Cruiser Toyota, I think the expensive kit will only be benefit the remote touring, running 2 fridges, lights, stereos, cookers, and all that sort of stuff. When using your car like a kitchen every day, months on end, and they charge faster. Yeah, if you're driving all the time and that sort of thing, and look, you're running a fair few accessories if you're running all that gear with fridges and lights and cookers and all that sort of thing. But I'm certainly not running all that. But if you're going to do a remote stuff and go, really go off grid for a while, well, that's probably near the setup you need to be looking at, especially got stereo, get some tunes going at night time. Daryl's Travellers, how you going there, mate? Charged my 200 series to full lithium crank battery as well. Been 12 months and lots of Ks. Best thing you've done, right? Well, there's some good review back from someone who's already done it. Getting some good views out of it. He highly recommends it. Got full lithium crank battery there, righto. What about your second battery? Have you got a second one as well going on with that? Because I'd be looking at changing that too. So down the track. Land Cruiser Toyota, it's a lot of coin for your average weekend warrior. Yeah, again, you just got to, again, justify it up for, how much time you are going to go away. If you're going away a fair bit, or, if you're going to get away sort of once a month, maybe sort of thing, well, you've got to weigh all that sort of stuff up too, mate, because they are cheap. But as I said, if you can get that sort of double to triple the lifespan out of them, well, it sort of balances it out a bit. But it's just a big outlay initially. That's the thing with it for sure. Adam Jones, Land Cruiser Toyota. Yes, it is, mate. There we go. Darren, the best cranking battery running for the winch and start duties. Yeah, I've got my winch running off my start battery, which is absolutely where you want it. Well, where it draws the most power, and while the engine's running, you want that winch to be running off that start battery. Yeah, for sure about that one. Cough 77, that's probably a good subject in itself. Weight saving measures, yeah, that's right, mate. And so that's sort of the probably number one reason why I'm looking to swap them out is purely because of that weight factor. So I'll need to do a bit more research on them and make sure you are going to get that longevity out of them, as they're saying. They're 8 to 10 years, but I think they've got sort of warranties on them too, like about 5 or something year warranties on them as well. But some of the battery guys I've spoken to, that's what they're sort of saying. If you look after them, you can get upwards of sort of 8 to 10 years out of them. So that's not so bad at all there, I reckon. Daryl's Travels, yes, second battery as well. There you go. The weight saving is massive, and as well as the lifespan. Well, there you go. There's the guy there who's certainly using both of them in his 200 series. So you've got both of them, cranking battery and the second battery going on there. So that's certainly the way what I think I would be going. Well, there you go, guys. Well, that's been an interesting little topic because, this has been sort of on my mind a little bit, thinking about this lithium changeover from the lead-acid batteries. And then so I sort of would throw this up tonight. Let's have a chat about it because it turns up on social media quite a fair bit. People asking these questions, which way do you go? What do you think about it? So I've certainly answered some good questions here, and it's good to see some of you guys actually using the setups. With those lithium setups, and good to get some good feedback out of them. So, good thing they're going on there. The Wanderer, not looking for promoting anyone, but they're great in-depth videos. Look, there's a heap of videos. You can just search it up. Leave that title, lead-acid batteries versus lithium, and you'll get some good videos there. There's plenty you can certainly go and check out for get some other info and see what other people are saying and thinking about them. But that's sort of where I'm going. So there you go, guys. We'll wrap this one up. But interesting little chat there. Great little topic, and we've certainly covered some good stuff there. So tomorrow night, new video coming up tomorrow night. It's another solo trip, absolute cracking trip. A few days there up in the Big High Country, but that'll be up tomorrow night. Look forward to that one, and we'll probably see how we go. We probably maybe drop in next Sunday night, maybe for the last one for the year, and just say good day and wish everyone Merry Christmas. We'll have a chat with you guys next week. I reckon that might nearly be the last one for this year, and then we'll see where we go from there. Righto, guys, thanks very much for coming in tonight. Greatly appreciate all the feedback. Feedback's great. Some good stuff going on there. Good to hear from people that are using them. And we'll catch up with you guys a bit later on. So have a great week. Run into Christmas. Get all your Chrissy shopping done and get it all done, and hope it's all going all right. And we'll see you guys a bit later on. Stay safe and hooroo. Catch you later on. See you guys.